Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, I'm back for your monthly update on the Edmonton Real Estate Board. Got some great numbers for you. I'm going to do something a little different this month. I'm going to try to do something a little different every month. So hopefully I sort of give you a wider perspective on what's going on in the marketplace. So what I'm going to do is I want to compare the last 5 years for the month of January. Let's go back and look what happened in the last 5 years. And I'm going to look at the average price of all your different property types as well. And at the end, what I'm going to do is I want to give you some ideas, I'm going to say, on what you can do to make 2019 your best year ever. So let's have a look here. 2015, we did 700 sales, and you can see we dropped down to 654, off by about 6.5% in 2016. 2017, we went up to 780, we're up by 20%. Then what happened here, you can see 2018, we went up again to 891, up by 14%. Of course, down to 799, down by 10%. Probably a lot to do with rate increases, stress testing, that sort of thing. Here's our inventory. This is your active listings at the end of the month in your board. Obviously, your sales, okay, and your active listings is going to determine your months of inventory, and that tells you how strong or weak a market is. So I'll get into that in just a moment. 2015, you had 4,100 listings. Then we moved up to 5,700 listings, okay, up by 38%. Then we went down to 5,600, almost the same. And then, of course, we went up to 6,163, up by 10%. And look what's happening, we're up by 15% from the same month last year to almost 7,100 listings. So what does that indicate? If we have less sales and we have more listings, our months of inventory is going up, isn't it? Because you divide this number into this number, it gives you the months of inventory. Well, here it is. So if you look at 15, your market had 5.9 months of inventory. This is a balanced market. 4 to 6 is balanced, right? Then 16, we went to 8.8. We moved into what? Buyer's market. 7.2, a little better, but still, balanced to more of a buyer's market. 6.9, weak buyer's market. 8.9, we've moved into really a full-fledged buyer's market, very comparable to what it was like back in 2016. So, looking at this here is your days on the market. So you can see, if we look at January 5 years ago, it was 59, went to 70, 73, 75, and then it went up to 84. So you can see what's going on is it's climbing almost to 3 months now is what it's taken for the average home to sell. Here's your average prices. So if we look at the last 5 years, 2015 was 360. We dropped by 6% to 338. We went up by 5.5% to 356. Stayed almost the same right here last year. But look, now we're down by 5.7%. We're back to exactly the same price we were at in 2016, if you have a look at that, right? So this is cool stuff. You could be showing buyers, you could be showing sellers, you could be pushing out content in your social media channels or emailing this type of stuff, and people will see what's going on in their marketplace. So sales, now this is your micro market. So we had 799 sales. Detached was 472 of them, condominium was 215, and duplex row houses was 97. So you can see that most of your sales are detached. Obviously, because people can still afford detached, and your condominium, your duplex, these are fairly weak markets. And I know if you add these three up, they don't add up to that, but that's because we had some land in there and some other sales as well. But this is interesting here. So your board, your average price was $338. Your detached was $404, your condo was $218, okay, and your duplex row houses was $322. So anyway, that gives you a pretty good idea as to what is going on in your marketplace. But here's what I want to talk about right now. Generally in Edmonton, you have moved into a really full-fledged buyer's market in almost every property type, okay? Definitely condos, okay? Definitely, anything other than detached. Your low-end detached is probably, more of a balanced market. Your high-end detached is definitely going to be a buyer's market. So here's a question I get all the time. People say, well, Rich, when a market changes like that and it goes to a full-fledged buyer's market, should we be focused on getting listings or focus more on working with buyers? And here's why they ask the question. See, if you focus on taking more listings and the listings aren't selling, then your listing inventory starts to rise. You have unhappy sellers you got to deal with every single week, right? So when you start to see this going on, you start to wonder, why do I want to carry more listings? And by the way, if they don't sell, I'm not getting paid. I spent time, I spent money marketing a house, and I'm not going to get paid. So maybe what I'll do to reduce all of that aggravation, I'm just going to focus on buyers. Well, buyers is the easy way out, but it's not the right way. I've been in many markets. I've been in real estate since '85. I've seen like so many down markets, right? And here's what I know. In any marketplace, you got to list to last. You got to list to live. Focus on listings. However, you got to become more selective. So the first thing is to focus on listings. Every day wake up and look for listings, look for listings, look for listings, look for listings. Then when you're meeting with a potential seller, then what you got to do is you got to remember in a buyer's market, it's obviously a beauty contest and a price war, isn't it? House got to show really, really well. You know, you got to be staging, you got to be decluttering, all those sort of things. And it's also got to be priced accordingly because let's go back. And if you have, to give you an idea, if you're sitting in a marketplace with say, let me look at the months of inventory here. If you're sitting with 9 months of inventory, that's almost 10 months of inventory. What does that tell you? What chances is that house have of selling in that particular month, right? I'm just going to pick a number. Let's say it's 10%. So let's say you get a 10% chance of selling. That means in the market where you have the listing, in comparable homes, there's 10 homes like it for sale and only one's going to sell. So how do you become the one? Okay, remember, you focus on listings. Number two, what you got to do, price and motivation. See, if they won't list at the right price, then they got to be motivated to sell. They have to want to sell. Because if somebody's just testing the market, don't take that listing. Because if you don't have motivation, and if you don't have the right price, you got an expired listing that's going to cost you time and it's going to cost you money. So you want to become more selective in the listings you're working with. So you need to be meeting with more sellers, going to more presentations, but not saying yes to them all. So the minute somebody is highly motivated to sell, even if they listed the wrong price, they'll eventually come to the right price. So what you want to do is this. When you take on a listing, only take on motivated sellers. Every week, you got to be communicating with these people. Show them what has sold, what is for sale. Help them what I call trip over the truth. What does that mean? That means that if they have to sell and they really want to sell, they're interested in what's going on in the marketplace. Which means when you show them the active listings and you show them the homes that have sold, they start to trip over the truth and realize they got to adjust their price. But you got to do this constantly. Almost every time a listing comes out, send it to them. Every time one sells, send it to them. Let them see what's going on and stay in contact every week. Yes, it's going to take days and markets going up. It's going to take longer to sell. You got to stay in the game. So remember, focus on listings. Number two, you only want to take ones that are motivated to sell. Don't worry about the rest because high price, no motivation, expired listing. Number three, communicate on a regular basis and help them trip over the truth. Look for listings. If buyers come along, that's great. But don't change the strategy. It's still the same. Listings in real estate is the name of the game. And remember, everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.